Welcome to Tech y Vida with Dr. J, where life and technology intersect. What does it mean to bridge the gap between two worlds? To blend the traditions of the past with innovations of the future. For me, it's about harnessing the power of technology to empower communities. I'm a first-gen Latino, raised in Compton, with roots from Zacatecas, and I found my passion at the intersection of tech and culture. So join me on Tech y Vida, a podcast where we explore the stories, strategies, and insights that fuel our journeys. Let's connect, reflect, and grow together. From the streets of Compton to cutting-edge technology, my journey has been a wild ride. I'm a first-gen tech enthusiast and a lifelong learner. On Tech y Vida, I share my experiences, lessons, and inspirations to help you level up your life. I will aim to bring in co-hosts or folks that could really engage on topics about technology and life. Whether you're a seasoned pro or just starting out, let's navigate these complexities of the modern world together. We're all connected. I firmly believe that we're all connected no matter where we come from. And I've always been drawn to the power of community. On Tech y Vida, I explore the intersection of this technology, or any technology, and culture, share our stories, strategies, and insights that can help us build a better future. Let's create a world where everyone has the opportunity to thrive. And with that, I do want to thank you all for being here for our first intro episode. This is the intro to Tech y Vida. I will start my first episode with a hot topic or a big theme in the tech landscape tied to AI. I will be talking about it from the lens of the digital divide or bridging the gap and really bringing in exposure around AI for folks that haven't leveraged it at this moment in time. But for today, as part of our intro, we're going to start with a simple but powerful truth, our story. Tech y Vida is something I've been holding up from releasing. It is a podcast I've held up, and there's been a lot of doubt as to whether I do this or not, but thanks to friends, families, and great people around my life, I am taking this leap to really talk about my story, which is a superpower. And at the same time, leverage my experiences, my story, my expertise to get you all into this tech landscape. And maybe, just maybe, it'll help inspire you to not only tell your story, but get involved and really help out and build community. Now, one thing I do also want to bring up in this intro is something that I firmly believe, which is the key to unlocking your potential. I've always thought would be hidden in the stories that we live and those connections that we build. And I'll share why. I shared earlier at the intro, I was born and raised in the heart of Compton, a place that's often misunderstood, rich in culture and community. I will say, growing up, having love for the city, I was fortunate to have a strong family support system. I had my grandfather. He served as a father figure, and my dad was my everything. And I was fortunate to have my mom and my family there. And despite these challenges of a single-parent household in a tough neighborhood, I've always had this was always drawn to technology. Indirectly, I didn't know that because it was something that we either were exposed to in school or we saw it when we were at our friend's house and they had some devices or, through these gaming systems. I will say when I was a kid, my exposure was in school. We had computer labs. And I always wanted to do more than what was limited or restricted. And in there, I became more and more intrigued and interested. But I didn't know that there was a whole industry where you could really make something out of yourself tied to technology from that. However, as mentioned, as a young man, I did find solace in the world of science and math. And that was something that kept me afloat in school. English and writing, being quite frank, were not my strong suits. I did great, but it wasn't something that I'd look forward to. STEM was always something. I excelled in those STEM subjects. I did spend countless hours tinkering, as mentioned earlier, with those electronics and really thinking about what the future could be. And this was through movies also. I didn't talk about movies, but there were some great movies back then that I was like, wow, imagine you could do this. We all thought it was an imagination or something that we were just thinking about, but we're now seeing it come into fruition. And navigating all these complexities of growing up in a challenging environment, I will also share that I found solace in sports, soccer or football. It's something that helped me be who I am. While I was on the field, I learned the importance of discipline, teamwork, and perseverance. These values, along with the guidance of dedicated mentors, really helped me stay focused on my goals in life. And I, again, went through the entire Compton Unified School district system. I graduated from Compton High, and I will also say and share that I had some great people there that came into my life and kept me in a positive direction with where I was going. They were great mentors. My grandfather was alongside and my family, and they knew the potential I carried. I was always a different kid. I always, went through those stages of trying to fit in, but I always knew I had this talent that really was catered to technology. And it all got exposed, I would say, more towards the tail end of high school when I started piecing one by one. But before that, I was thinking a lot like, what am I going to do with my life? Because often being in Compton, you think about getting or through, just surviving or living and taking it step by step. High school was a step one. Getting through high school is always a blocker, and getting through that was something that I was happy to do so. But I was thinking about college because my mentors said, hey, you have the potential to do all this great stuff. So college was something that came into my life, and I was blessed to have been accepted. And again, I had more and more exposure in college. I was still thinking a lot about what I was going to do. I was thinking back and trying to really put those one-to-one pieces in the puzzle. And I was going through this trajectory. I remember my first thing I was drawn to was a firefighter. And I remember wanting to be a lawyer and get into politics and get into law enforcement. All these careers, which are not bad, I came to think about it that I wanted to do them because I wanted to help people. And I grew up in Compton, so these 4 professional or career journeys were really something we saw, right? There were always drive-bys, so you would always see the ambulance or the fire truck. There was always some crime happening or some people going through something like that and whatnot. There's a lot that goes with law enforcement. And, we also thought about politics because of how bad the city was and our surroundings. And tied to that, lawyer was really thinking about how do we help folks out. And, I did think about all of this and I was navigating all of this, but I also had the opportunity to think about it and reflect on it. And this happened thanks to something great that I did in college, which was I joined a fraternity. I formed some lifelong friendships, gained valuable leadership skills, and really had great people that helped shape me into the person that I am. And think about that. My career journey, again, has been a winding road. And it all got framed through my experiences in life. I went through a multidiscipline, had 2 degrees or 2 master degrees to be exact, that were focused on the sciences. And then I got my doctorate. And my doctorate was really focused on bridging the gap when it came to technology. And that gap for me, has always been, how do I bring technology to the forefront and make it consumable and help folks really not only use it, but also make something out of it. And this was how I started to find my passion and get exposure to the fact that you can make a great living through technology and still make a change. I've had, the opportunity to work in various roles, whether it started off in tech support, being in leadership positions. I've always been driven by that desire to help others. And I found great satisfaction in mentoring and supporting the next generation of tech professionals. So all in all, I'm really excited to share this piece of my journey with you through this podcast. And I will be diving deep into the latest tech trends, discuss the impact of technology on society, education, and inspire others to pursue their passions. I do believe that technology has the power to transform lives. It's done it with me, and I am committed to using my platform to make a positive difference. So join me as we dive into this world of tech and beyond. Let's learn, grow, and inspire each other. And again, this is not just about technology, it's about life. And with that, thank you for listening. And until next time, keep innovating, living life, and make sure you enjoy it. Thank you, everyone.